Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to be talking about my top 10 quality of life changes that I want to be added to YBA. But before we begin this video, a lot of you may be asking, well, why not implement these changes since you're on the tester team? Think of this video more as a wish list or a reminder for the development team to look back on, as they're already occupied with more important things. As always, comment down below if you think I've missed any or have some good ideas of your own. And also, please consider subscribing. We're almost at 10k subscribers. And without further ado, let's get right into the list. At our number 10 spot, we have free fast travel. Were you ever in a situation where you need to fast travel to another location and forgot, hey, I used all my gold coins and cash for Lucky O's already? Or maybe I just recently bought a new spec and swapped. Yeah, that happens way too much often for how much YBA bucks is used every time you play. I think the people that can empathize with this point are the ones who vividly remember the event grinding days in which they'd be scraping the bottom barrel for rokas and arrows like me. YBA players shouldn't be grinding in 9 to 5, killing Dio over heaven over and over, just to have the money drained by simple inconvenience. I know some of you may argue, then what would be the point for gold coins anymore? Maybe they'd be able to rework the arcade into a more gacha stylized gambling system, so who knows. But I just think that fast traveling should be free at this point. It's been 2 years since Stone Free updated, and it just helped out a lot. At number 9, we have Casual Gamemodes. YBA's replayability is at its lowest as of now. Besides getting newer stands, once newer players get to Prestige 3, the only options they have in terms of game modes are slim. There's no casual game mode to hop on when people want a quick YBA game. Besides Man Cave, of course. A good example that I've been playing a lot recently is ABA, which is super easy to just hop on, get a few games in, and leave. It has amazing replayability. YBA's combat is, if not the most unique and fluid feeling combat out of all of Roblox PvP. Yeah, I said it. Yet there's not a single team-based game mode in the game, like King of the Hill or Juggernaut. It is such a missed opportunity to not have more casual game modes in YBA, and I think it'll keep player retention up high too, as every other game mode is super competitive, but that's just my eyes. At number 8, we have different ways to get gems. It's been 4 months since the new shop has been added, and we haven't got a single real way to get gems outside of Roblox as of now. Gems are such an underutilized opportunity to keep players engaged in the game, as the only way to really grind for shinies are buying Lucky Arrows at the moment. There are so many ways you could be giving gems besides the Robux. You can have gems be earned by gambling at arcades. You can have gems be given as 1v1 or 2v2 awards. You can have them be opened from chests. You can have them as awards in Steel Bar Run, or even given in new YBA codes. Wait, YBA codes? Hold on a second. Wait, yeah, YBA codes. Number 8.5, make new codes give more rewards. We've been getting codes for years at this point, and the most we've gotten from a code is a Lucky Arrow. Unless you're living under a rock, it's super easy to get Lucky Arrows nowadays. So with this newfound YBA inflation, do not switch it up. They should be giving more Lucky Arrows per code, or at least some new gems. This will also be 10 times more better for the next code that's coming up on Uzu's channel, which is if he reaches 500,000 subscribers. So I heavily encourage the development team to look into this one at least, because we can't keep getting single Lucky Arrows. They're kind of useless at this point. I just don't believe that gems should be locked behind a paywall, and that players will have more motivation to continually play the game in between updates if gems are obtainable. Also, as a side note, they should have gems and any kind of microtransactions like game passes be giftable to players, as this will give more opportunities for better giveaways in the YBA server, or by content creators like myself. At number 7, we have making crits feel more impactful. Crits in YBA are underwhelming to say the least, as they just randomly appear when you're doing M1s. In my opinion, crits should exclusively be on every move besides M1s, just like how they are in Steel Bar Run. One of my favorite examples of crits in a game is from Team Fortress 2, in which their random crits feel impactful and good to land. YBA lacks that, as there's no visual or audio cue when a one is landed. It just feels random and unfair when an extra 10 damage is added to the end of an M1. If we keep crits exclusive to anything but M1s, it'd feel more satisfying to hit. You can also add an impact frame and a sound cue to really drive home the feeling of getting a random crit. And they should also remove random crits for competitive modes. But alright, so. At number 6, we have Storing Vampirism with its race. This one is the shortest and most simplest on this list, which is making the vampire race storable in spec storage. There's literally no reason for this to not be added, as it deters players from even playing Vamp to begin with. It's a constant hassle to go through the same cutscene with the same lo-fi remix over and over and over. just to play Vamp once and roke it right after, because you can't use him in the Vamp race. Please make the Vampire race storageable so you can encourage players to try it out more. At number 5, we have being able to swap between skill trees. Listen, I love YBA as much as the next guy, but the amount of times I have to swap my stands or specs mid-battle is tedious. Having the ability to just swap from one skill tree to the next would save so much time and effort, and would definitely be one of the best quality of life changes on this list. Alternatively, add the option to save preset skill trees from when you want to use them. But I prefer the first suggestion over the latter, just because I'd be able to customize my build more. At number 4, we have Merchant Revamp. My 2 biggest gripes with Merchant as of now is the lack of ability to sell a specific amount of items, and how some items are just completely unsellable for whatever reason. Like, why aren't Jotaro's Disc and Dio's Bones sellable? They're probably one of the most farmed items in the game for their heaven stands, yet they are rendered useless outside their own heaven quest. On screen here, I'll list all the items that should be sellable but aren't. This will really help people who are trying to farm YBA bucks outside of just doing Dio quests over and over and over. At number 3, we have another Steel Ball Run rework. Yes! Oh my god! Oh my god! I think we can all agree that the Steel Ball Run rework back in July was anything but perfect. Although I love the new blessing feature they added to Steel Ball Run, it has a ton of issues even till this day that need to be fixed. The first one being the map's mesh detection. Everything feels too clunky and inconsistent to play in. I think the trees are the best examples. Put a screen, Jofin getting stuck in trees on one video. Sometimes you try and catch someone fleeing on a horse, just to end up hitting some invisible parts of the map. It just doesn't feel fun to play in compared to the old map. Not to mention the amount of times you get stuck beneath the floor itself. Like, come on, what's going on here? My second issue is being how there still isn't a party queue system in Steel Ball Run to make playing with friends much easier. This issue was very prominent when I was recording the YouTuber Steel Ball Run a few months back, in which it was a total hassle to coordinate and pick the right server with a massive group of people. And my third issue is how the horse's temperature just don't work anymore. Regardless of which stage you're in, your horse's temperature just stays the same. It's very jarring, and I think it needs to be added back because it was such an important strategy back in the old Steel Ball Run. Also, I want to go on a little quick tangent about Steel Ball Run's map. Besides the mesh detection, I just feel like the Steel Ball Run map is way too long. I don't know if it's just me, but I've been having games that last up to 15 minutes. That's a long time to be playing Steel Ball Run, just for quartz parts that you can now buy in the shop. This circles back to my old point, in which I said we should add gems as Steel Ball Run awards. Maybe that'll make people play it more? Who knows? Also, please remodel the horses, please. They look ugly as hell. Overall, Steel Ball Run has a ton more issues, but those are my only 3 suggestions for it. At number 2, we have a new map. I actually briefly talked about this with Paragon before, which I'll put on screen here.
The main reason I want to redo the map in general is because it's just not good gameplay wise. It's huge, there's a lot of empty areas. You feel like everything is bigger than you. When you're running down the street, it just feels like you're not really... Like, when you look at the buildings, I don't know if this is just me, when you look at the buildings in YBA, they're not like something you access, they're like barriers to me. Besides like the alleyways, and even traversing those feel wrong to me because it's like a little tight ass space. It just doesn't feel... The map just doesn't feel like you can traverse it very well, which is not enjoyable to me. The colors in general are very awkward. I think the modeling of the map itself is fine. It just needs to be gameplay optimized, and colored properly, and materialized properly. Like, certain textures need to be different materials. But yeah.
By the time I'm editing this video, they actually released a concept for the new YBA map that's coming up. As you can see, it has many of what Paragon described in the video. Seems like smaller buildings down here, correct colors. This is something I'm definitely looking forward to in the future. But yeah, I do agree. The buildings in this game are just way too tall. In old YBA, you're easily able to time skip on top of buildings as opposed to heal. Now you have to run around and find a ladder just to climb up it. To me, this map just feels very claustrophobic and big. It lacks the charm that the older YBA map has. And I think making things a little bit closer together and reducing the height of the buildings will really help in that. And at number 1, we have more custom sound effects to stands. This last quality of life on this list already has progress being made on it. but I figured it's still worth mentioning just as a reminder for the development team. The stanza that don't have sound effects for its moves needs some. It's either an issue of moves being unreactable without them, or that stanza just feel emptier without any sound effects. This is a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game. I should be immersed in the stand I'm using, and some of these abilities are just dead silent for years now. I should be immersed in it. What the fuck am I saying, bro? And yeah, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Again, subscribe if you want more yapping content like this. I also got some more funny videos coming up. Sorry I haven't uploaded, I've just been taking a break from YouTube. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.